What's up, guys? Back once again with a Capoeira sequence for your living room. Okay, this is a channel dedicated to giving quality Capoeira instructions for movements that you can learn, pick up, perfect, and master from the comfort of your own room. Okay, so in today's sequence, we are going to be working an escape called Esquiva Diagonal, which looks like this. We are going to be working an attempted sweep called rasteira, where I attempt to attack my opponent's leg as they kick, and it looks like this. And we are also going to be working an attack up high towards our opponent's head called the martelo, which you may remember from beginner lesson 1. Common kick in capoeira, common kick in many different martial arts. I believe it's mostly called the roundhouse kick. I hear that name a lot for other martial arts, translated to English, and it simply looks like this. Okay, so the whole sequence is Ginga, of course, good Ginga. Please refer to my Ginga lesson if you don't know what I'm doing right now. And from here, we escape a kick, we attempt to sweep, and we kick ahead. Okay, and once again, everything is going to transition. It might have been hard to see, but a fundamental position in movement is my cadeira position, my stance right here, my squat, okay, which requires a straight back and a bend at the hips and a bend at the knees, okay. I cannot express to you guys how important it is to have this range of motion to be super comfortable here, okay. In the interest of keeping things interesting, what I try to do is create a sequence that's enjoyable. But really, it's made up of a bunch of basics that you could just train for hours and hours that I've probably done 10, 20, 30,000 times under the direction of my teachers. Okay, but because we're trying to have some fun, because we're trying to get some exercise, because we're already in the living room, and it's hard enough to motivate just to work out in the living room, I want to give an interesting sequence, okay? But again, make sure you have a solid base right here. If you want to rep out a couple hundred of these, okay, if you're brand new to capoeira, you want to be repping out a couple hundred of these before the beginning of every session. And maybe even a couple hundred of these, which is our lunge or our Ginga position, and a very fundamental movement to the human body that you need to have a solid understanding of. Okay, so let's go through the sequence. The first movement is esquiva lateral, the lateral escape. Okay, there are many escapes in capoeira, and being proficient at them is very important. But for today, let's focus on just this one. So, sorry, this is esquiva diagonal. My mistake, diagonal, because my escape is traveling diagonally. So if I'm square to you right here, my escape comes forward, not straight forward, and not straight laterally, it becomes diagonal. Once again, I'm not moving my foot forward, and I'm not moving my foot laterally, I'm moving diagonally. Now, the diagonal leg movement isn't quite enough, because to really get your hips low and to get away from the opponent while also keeping your balance, I also recommend turning your foot diagonally, okay? So the leg travels diagonally and then the foot edges out one more. So I can come and have a really good control over my depth and a really good control over my body weight. So the very first movement, beginning from parallel position. The leg comes diagonal, the foot positions diagonally. I drop my body and of course, always have one hand in front to protect my face. From here, power straight back and come to my squat. Get in at least 20, 30, 40, 50 of these guys, just this position, okay? Of coming forward, down and open, coming back, down to the squat. Coming diagonal, diagonal foot, coming back, diagonal squat. In, up, out, and in, and out, and in, and out. The more speed and power you can exude in the movement, the better. But start slow, start short. Even if we're here for now, that's something, okay? Obviously challenging your depth as much as possible to condition the legs and to escape that kick that hopefully is gonna be one day coming at you when you play capoeira for real, and hopefully use some of these movements and learn some of these movements in a group environment, okay? So, esquiva diagonal, back to parallel, esquiva diagonal, back to parallel. Remember, our imaginary kick is traveling across my face here. I'm coming down and under, and I'm reversing back to my ready stance. Now, in this situation, somebody tries to attack this side. So after my escape, I return back. Now they're foolish, they kick 2 kicks in the same direction. So the second time, I'm not just gonna come down into an escape again. They've exposed themselves, they've telegraphed themselves, they're leaving themselves in a vulnerable position. So I'm gonna try and sweep them from here. So the second part of the sequence, first we escape for diagonal foot, lower the body, then we return to parallel. The second part, the foot that just went forward is now my base foot. And I extend this foot leg to try and attack their body low. To try and sweep that leg out from underneath them while keeping this hand to protect. From the side, guys, here's what this sweep looks like. Here's what the sequence looks like. I escape, I return. My foot that just came forward is now my base foot, and I attack the person's leg with this foot here, bam. Now we want to train that length. You see how my hips are sunk and my front foot is in a hook position with my backhand protecting? That's because capoeira is an art of long range attacks. Okay, if you ever want to try and sweep somebody's foot, just perhaps training it here might not be enough, probably won't be enough, because if you're in that elbow range, that headbutt range, that really close quarters, they're not going to throw a nice big kick here, asking you to take them down. So train it deep. We train the escape deep, we return to parallel. We train the sweep deep, and we return to parallel. Once again, from the side. We train the escape deep, return to parallel. We train the sweep deep, return to parallel. Other side, we train the escape deep, back to parallel, and we go for the sweep deep, back to parallel. Okay? So that is a good little sequence to train to see if we can catch our balance just on that. So if you guys are facing me, you're going to mirror me, okay? We come forward with the left leg returns. Sweep with the right leg returns. Now we're back in parallel. Come forward with the left leg, turning, back to parallel. Sweep with the left leg, back to parallel. Now you guys come forward with the left, back to parallel. Sweep with your right, back to parallel. Come forward with your right, back to parallel. Sweep with your left, back to parallel. Now the third movement in the sequence. Make sure you rep down that escape and that sweep a few times. Get proficient with it. And when you're ready, we're going to add the martello kick. Okay, you saw it in lesson 1. Let's bring it back. Let's go over the details again. Let's clean it up, make it nice. 4 parts to the martello. Step 1, foot turns. Step 2, sink your hips, lean back. Step 3, raise your knee, lean back even further. And when I extend my foot to kick, my arms switch to keep my balance. Big and back. Okay? I cannot stress you how important it is to make sure that bottom foot pivots as you throw. Okay? If you leave it in position, it's going to kill your flexibility, kill your power, kill your mobility, unless you're some kind of gymnast person. That's probably not going to be tuned into this channel. So, 4 parts. Foot, hip, knee, foot kicks, and I switch my arms. Big, One more time, other side. Foot, hip, knee, kick. Don't worry about the height for now. Just worry about all four parts. And of course, point your toes to the connecting foot. You want to connect with this nice, hard part of the leg and shin and maybe upper foot as when we train this to connect, okay? So make sure that toe is pointed as you extend. Two more times slow, then we'll train it for real. Foot, hip, knee, kick and switch the arms. One more time. Foot, hip, knee, kick and switch the arms. From the side. Foot, hip, knee, lean back, extend and kick. Foot, hip, knee, lean back, extend and kick. Of course, throwing it that slow and robotically will not work in a capoeira situation. So we try and combine that and gain speed as we gain proficiency. Foot, hip, knee, kick. Foot, hip, knee, kick. Foot, hip, knee, kick. Foot, hip, knee, kick. And then it becomes sped up, it becomes almost one movement. Boom. And back. Boom. And back. Boom. And back. One important detail. Don't leave your leg hanging out there like a giant chicken wing. A tasty chicken nugget for somebody to grab and slam you down on the ground. You want to return just as fast as you kick. Foot, hip, knee, kick, back to the ready stance. I'm ready for what's next. Foot, hip, knee, kick, back to the ready stance. Okay? So the whole sequence. We begin in parallel. Let's go for a couple gingas. 1, 2, 3. We're going to come forward, diagonal, escape. Come back up to parallel. That foot that led in the escape is now my base leg. And I try to sweep with the other leg. Whoop, didn't work. Back to parallel. Rotate to the side. Throw that counter attack to throw my opponent off. Keep them busy. And I'm back to parallel. Ginga 1. Ginga 2. Ginga 3. Escape. Retreat. Sweep. Retreat. Attack the head. Base. And we Ginga 1. Ginga 2. Ginga 3. One more nice and slow. Diagonally escape. Return to parallel. Throw that sweep. Didn't work. Return to parallel. Hip, knee, foot. Attack the head. Bang. Return to parallel. Very good, guys. Once you have your components, train it for real, okay? Yes, sir. Very nice, guys. And as always, try and get some repetitions in, okay? Hit pause, hit repeat. Do what you gotta do to get comfortable with the details of each movement. Then start to rep it down. Then start to express it. Then start to add speed. As always, hit me up with any questions in the comment section. Please subscribe. Love hearing from you guys. Love getting that encouragement, and also I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have with the movements. This is Kenya signing off. Thanks once again. Peace out. Salve todo mundo.